Hey everyone, thank you for watching. Today's video, I'm real excited to do this one. I am going to be ranking my entire bronzer collection. So ranking all of my bronzers from my least favorite to my top favorite. I did this video about last year and it is the second highest viewed video on my channel, I'm pretty sure. And I've been really excited to make this one again, especially because this year's video is so different from last year's video that it's pretty comical. But I wanted to do this kind of ranking my different categories at least yearly. I love doing ranking videos. I've been doing them for a long time. I'll link my playlist down below. So I thought it would be fun to come back and do an updated bronzer one. So last year I had 15 bronzers. This year I have 22, and let's go ahead and get started. Alrighty, I'm excited to do this one, and also it was so hard. It was so hard. I stared, when I do my ranking videos, I put out all of the products and then I make, you know, I don't really like these are pretty good, these are my favorites, and then I try to like switch and mix and match and like get it in the right order, and I have the hardest time with bronzers. Like my top 4, I just didn't know what to do. Like in the end, I think I just kind of gave up. I was like, I don't know what to do with these. So even like a middle category, I'm like, I don't know. So please, like, don't hold me like super accountable in this video, okay? Okay, it was really hard to rank these bronzers. Let me show you my OOTD. I don't got much going on today. Just some biker shorts and this little crop top here. Just some workout clothes is all we got going on for the Vegas OOTD. I had a friend visiting me the past 2 days, and I took him out on the town last night, and I think that he had a lot of fun, but I kind of lost my voice. So this is gonna be real interesting to get through this video in this raspy voice. I also curled my own hair and I ended up like a lion. So I don't know, but I woke up and I was like, wow, my hair still looks great. Excellent. So I didn't do any filming on this look. I just kind of quickly put it together, but I will always link all of my makeup down in the description box if you're curious about anything that I'm wearing. And I think that's it. So let's go ahead and jump into it. So starting off at the bottom, move my phone so I can see my list. So starting off at the bottom, number 22. This is from L'Oreal. This is their Bronze Please bronzer. I have the shade Terra. I purchased this one from Walmart, I'm pretty sure, because I was hearing some good things about it, and it was a drugstore bronzer, and I was like, I should give that a try. I just don't really care for it. I used it, you know, a handful of times when I was reviewing it, like last year or whenever it was, and then after I reviewed it and was like, meh, I pretty much have never reached for it again. So I know I should start a declutter series at some point, and I'm like, I don't think this one is gonna make it because I like literally I never reach for it. It practically looks brand new. It just wasn't a favorite of mine. I didn't really love the shade on me either. I thought it pulled a little bit orange, which I really don't love with a bronzer. It just wasn't like the most blendable, the most flattering. It just was like, okay. Coming in at number 21, I have this one from Lawless Beauty. So I really like Lawless as a brand. I like a lot of their products, but the bronzer has always been one that I just wasn't a huge fan of. I've pretty much kept it around just because Lawless is such a smaller brand. They only have a handful of products out, and I think I pretty much own almost everything, if not everything from them. So I'm like, I don't know, it's like in my Lawless collection, but I really don't reach for it all that often. The biggest reason is I just don't find it very blendable. I like the shade on me. For some reason, I bought this myself, but there's no anything on the back of it. So I know that there's at least a couple different shades of this bronzer, but I think I have the lightest one. I don't know why that is. I bought it from Sephora, so I don't know why it wouldn't have that on there. But yeah, biggest thing is it doesn't blend very well. It doesn't look like the most natural on my face, so I really don't use this one a lot. Coming in at number 20, okay, quite honestly, like those two are the ones that like I really don't enjoy. And then for this middle category, I feel like there's a lot in here. These are ones that I think are good and fine and decent. Like there's nothing like wrong with them. But coming in at number 20, I have this one from Lawless Beauty, and this was really hard for me because this was the first product that I'm trying from the brand, and it's not that it's like a terrible bronzer. Like I said, starting from here, I think that all of these are fine. It just didn't work the best for me. Once again, I just didn't find it very easy to blend, and bronzers is really something that I want blendability. I want it to look smooth. I want it to look flawless. I want it to look like a natural bronze on my face. And this one just never really quite gave me that effect. The shade also isn't perfect for me. I got this shade Harmony, which is the medium shade, and packaging is like not always my favorite, but it's fine. It's a decent bronzer. It's just not a personal favorite for me. And then at number 19, I have this one from Kylie Cosmetics, and this is her pressed bronzing powder in Toasty. Once again, it's like, it's fine. It just, I really don't reach for it. Like, I have my bronzers that I reach for over and over and over again, and this is one that I'm like, it's nice, but I just don't really reach for it. I do think it's easy to blend, which is good. I do like that. It just doesn't like stand out to me. And when I'm ranking all of the bronzers next to each other, like this is one that just kind of fades into the background. I think it's fine. Like the quality is fine. I just pretty much never reach for it. Coming in at number 18, I have this one from Too Faced, and this is their Sun Puppy Bronzer. This is a cute bronzer. Obviously, like, packaging is super cute. Inside has like the little dog, like that's super cute. I just swirl everything together when I wear this bronzer, and I like it. I like it more than I thought that I was going to. I wasn't really sure how the coloring would turn out because you just kind of like mix everything all together here, but I think it's a really smooth bronzer. It's pretty light on me, so I often don't reach for it all that much, and especially since moving to Vegas, I know that my skin is getting tanner no matter how often I bathe in SPF. I know that I am getting more of a tan, so this one is getting to be pretty much too light for me. So I just don't reach for it all that often, but it's cute, it's nice. At number 17, I have this one from TheBalm, and this is their Bronzilla, their bronzer, contour, and shadow, so kind of like a multi-product. I like this one. You know, again, like I said, I'm liking this middle category of products. It's really smooth. It's very, very blendable. I feel like it looks very natural on the face, which I do like. My biggest issue with this one is that it constantly gets hard pan, and I feel like I'm either having to like scrape or use tape or something like that. So there's a few times that I've pulled this out to use it, and I'm like, I can barely get any product out. I just don't have time to like remove the hard pan and start again. So that's like kind of the biggest con about it, but I like the color. I like how it looks. The word that I think of with this one is smooth. Like, it's such a smooth bronzer, which I enjoy. At number 16, I have this bronzer from Nabla Cosmetics. This is their Skin Bronzing Sun-Kissed Effect Bronzing Powder in the shade Ambra. I like this one. I think that this is a good bronzer. I've reached for it a handful of times. I think I'm getting to the point in the video where it's like, I don't know what else I can say, because a lot of these I kind of feel the same thing about. Like, they're good. They're not my most reached for, but they're not like terrible. I know that they'll look good on my skin. That's kind of what I think about this one from Nabla. It gives a little bit of a sheen, which I do like also, but I think that's a good one from Nabla Cosmetics. And then at number 15, I have this one from e.l.f. Cosmetics, and this is in Forever Sunkissed. This is a nice bronzer. It's very affordable, and I like it. It is a matte bronzer, but once again, it's very smooth. It's very blendable. It's gonna look more natural on the skin. I think that it's a good one. It's not my absolute most reached for. Between the powder, blush, and bronzer from e.l.f., I do reach for the bronzer more. I know that they just came out with the putty bronzer, which I'm awaiting on, and I'm really nervous because I've already seen like terrible reviews, and I don't like the putty blushes, so I'm like, I'm getting nervous about it. But I think that the powder bronzer, if that's what you're into, I think the one from e.l.f. is a good decision. Good buy. Good wear. Coming in at number 14, we're gonna have a little bit of a bougie section for just a minute here, but at number 14, I have this one from Tom Ford. This is the Ultimate Bronzer in Bronze Age. So this is just like, I mean, so beautiful, like packaging, everything, like so stunning. It's a nice bronzer too. It gives, once again, a little bit of a sheen. It doesn't really have, it's not shimmery or anything like that or glittery. It just gives that nice kind of like sheeny look to the cheeks, which I like matte and I like shimmer bronzers and satin bronzers. Like I like all of it. I like powder bronzers, I like cream bronzers, I like liquid bronzers. Like, I just really like bronzer. If you're newer to my channel, I really like bronzer. This bronzer in particular is slippery though. I don't mean the actual bronzer, I mean the actual compact. I have lost this thing so many times. Once again, when I was doing this video, I was hunting for the Tom Ford bronzer. I'm like, where does this thing keep going? I don't know. I don't know if it doesn't like me. Like, I'm not sure what's going on here, but I like it. It's very expensive. I think it's like, what is it, $100 or $110? And to me, that's like mind-blowing for a bronzer. But it's a good one. I don't know if I would say it's like absolutely worth that price tag. But it's good, And then kind of along-ish those same lines, but at number 13, I have the one from Charlotte Tilbury, and this is the Airbrush Bronzer. I have the shade 2 Medium. I like this bronzer. What I will say is that when I wear this, the word that comes to my mind is flawless. Like, my bronzer just always looks like airbrushed on. Like, just something about the Charlotte line, the Charlotte powders, I'm so impressed with them. This is another one though that I have a lot of hard pan issues with. There's been a lot of times where I've had to scrape or use tape or a con pad or something to be able to get the hard pan off, and this is a pretty expensive bronzer. I am blanking on the actual price though right now, so let me take a second and tell you how much this bronzer is. So this one is $55, so it's probably like half the price of the Tom Ford, but still I think $55 is a lot of money. I purchased this one myself, and I wish I would have loved it just a little bit more, you know, for that price tag. Like, I just wish it was just a little bit more. At number 12, I have this one from Milani. This is their Sunlight Silky Matte Bronzing Powder, and I have the shade 01. So I typically do use this more as a contour. I have a few products in here that I use more on the contour side than I do on the bronzer side, but I decided to include them because, so to me, sometimes I mix and match. I know some people can get really mad and they're like, that's a contour, not a bronzer. And I'm like, it's makeup. Sometimes I wear bronzer as an eyeshadow and I survive the day. So, you know, it's like, it is what it is. But I wanted to include all of these types of products in here. So with the shade match on this one, it's a little bit more cool toned. I usually use this as a contour, but it's beautiful. This is a really nice product. Again, it's Milani. It's gonna be a little bit more affordable. I think it's super smooth. The only thing with this one is that I do find that I have to build it up quite a bit. So it's just more of like a shade thing for me. But the actual product I think is really good. At number 11, I have what came in second place last year. And I was kind of surprised because when I sat down to watch the video, I was like, I can't really remember. I thought I knew what came in first, but I was like, what came in second? It was from Jouer. It was the Jouer Bronzer Duo. This is the light medium duo from Jouer. It's so shocking to me. I had such a deep obsession with this bronzer duo. I mean, this side, I'm so shocked that I haven't hit pan in this one yet. And quite honestly, since I pulled it out, I did move recently. I've been in Vegas for about 2 months now. I moved from Iowa to Vegas. And I still have a lot of my makeup in boxes and all of the things. If you caught my last vlog, I kind of talk in there about just being really overwhelmed with a move, with a divorce, with trying to adjust my dog and adjust myself and adjust my work and just all of the things. So I'm still not fully unpacked, and neither is my makeup. I just pulled out my Google Home the other day. Like, I was like, oh yeah, Google Home, I'll pull that out. So I'm still kind of a hot mess, I'm not gonna lie to you. So when I went looking for this one, I was like, you know, why have I not been wearing it? Like, I like this a lot, but I can't remember the last time that I wore it. I have been getting more into cream and liquid bronzers, which before, I don't know if I probably had what, 1 or 2 in last year's video. I think it was the Milk and the Benefit. Did I have the Benefit Quickie Contour Stick in last year's? I was also looking at some of my declutters, so I'm getting a little bit confused now. But I definitely, my preferences are changing, and I'm leaning less onto powder and more onto cream or liquid. So that definitely could play into it. But I'm pulling this one back out, and I want to get some use out of it. I really want to hit pan in that bronzer. Right, we are entering into the top 10. So at number 10, I have this one from Becca Cosmetics. This is the bronzer in Capri Coast. I really liked this bronzer. Another one that I'm like so shocked I never hit pan on. You can see like I have quite a dip in the middle and kind of can see like the imprint of the pan underneath. But this was such a beautiful bronzer. I've had it for a very long time, but it gives this really nice shimmery, glowy look to the cheeks. It's very smooth. It's very easy to blend. This was a big favorite of mine for a long time. Another one that I just really want to hit pan on a bronzer. Is it too much to ask for? At number 9, I have this one from TheBalm. This is their Take Home the Bronze bronzer. I have the shade Oliver in this one. So once again, I really like this. I use this as a contour a lot. I mean, I have talked about this product so much over the years because I've used it so much. Once again though, a lot of hard pan issues. So kind of the same with the Bronzilla from TheBalm. I have those same issues with Oliver. So sometimes it's just so hard to use, or I don't have the time to like try to fix things around, which is kind of disappointing, but I really do like this one. I don't really contour as much these days. I feel like lately now it's fair, like I'm kind of more into quick and simple product. I'm not doing like the full like contour routine as much these days, but I don't know, pulling out some of these like contour powders, the Balm and the Milani, I'm like, maybe I should get back into that. At number 8, I think this is gonna shock some people. but I really wanted to include this bronzer. It's a newer one to me, and I just featured it in my last like trying new makeup video, and it was a freaking disaster. So I think it's gonna be surprising when I actually tell you that I now really enjoy this product. But this is from Makeup by Mario. So go with me for a second. This is their new soft sculpt shaping stick. So technically this is considered a contour stick. On me personally, I think the shade is more bronzer-like. It's a little bit more warm toned on me, and I have the shade light medium. I really don't like the brush. I would not recommend the brush. I don't understand who passed the brush. I don't understand the brush. We're just gonna ignore the brush. But for the actual product, I have found how I really like it, and I've been wearing it pretty much the entire week. So what I did in the video is that I applied it directly onto my face, and then I used the brush on here to blend it out. I mean, thought being is that if that's how a product comes, and it's like, hey, we have product on one side and a brush on the other, and it's supposed to be like convenient, and that was something that kind of drew me to this, because like I said, I'm into the quick and simple makeup looks, and I'm like, oh cool, it has a brush right there, like I can just easily blend it out. The brush is terrible. Again, I don't know who approved the brush, so there's that. But what I do is I just take a damp sponge, and then I just run the damp sponge right onto the stick, or I can put the stick onto my hand, pick it up from the sponge that way. Either way, I think it works great. And then I apply directly on, and then it's beautiful. Then it's beautiful. So I don't recommend applying directly to the skin. My dog is snoring so loudly if you can hear her. But I don't recommend applying directly to the skin. I don't recommend using the brush on this one. But I have found a way that I really enjoy it. And like I said, I've been wearing it all week. So I really wanted to include it in here, mostly to give an update. And I do have a video on my Instagram, which is March Beauty Word. I have an Instagram video showing how I apply both the bronzer and the blush that I picked up from Makeup by Mario. So if you want to check that out, I can link it. Then at number 7, I have this one from Persona Cosmetics. It's quite funny because we're gonna start getting into some cream and liquids, and this is especially what makes it so different from last year's video. Like, to see my preferences change so freaking much is like kind of wild to me. But from Persona, this is their bronze multi-stick, and I have the shade Dune. I think this is a really nice product. I really enjoy it. It's pretty easy to blend. I do have another cream bronzer that I'm gonna be talking about that I find just slightly easier to blend, but I do find this easy to blend. This is one that I can apply directly to my face and blend it out, no problems. Whereas with the Makeup by Mario, I wouldn't really recommend that. So that's why I wanted to put the Persona higher, because I feel like it's just a little bit easier to work with. But it's a really nice product. I like Persona Cosmetics. They have a lot of really good releases, and I would definitely recommend the bronzer. At number 6, I have a liquid bronzer. This is from Iconic London, and this is their sheer liquid bronzer, and I have the shade Caramel Glow. This is so pretty. I like the packaging on it. Liquid bronzers can kind of freak me out a little bit. I definitely would say I lean more towards cream, but this is so pretty and so easy to use, and it's one of those products where you can use like a ton of it, and I feel like it still looks fine. Like, you can't really go overboard with this product, and it gives this really nice luminosity to it. It's called a sheer bronzer, and I will say that I do build it up, but not like to the point where I feel like I'm bronzing all day long type of thing. And I just really like the healthy glow and just like, that it gives to my cheeks, you know? Make sure you put that down as an official review. At number 5, this is a product that kind of surprised me. I wasn't sure I was going to love it and then I just decided to go for it, and I'm actually really glad that I did. This is from Patrick Ta, and this is the She's Sculpted Creme Contour and Powder Bronzing Duo. So I really enjoyed that you get both of these here. So once again, a little bit more cool toned for the contour side, a little bit warmer here for the powder bronzer. This is a great duo. I use it all the time. Sometimes I just use the cream contour and then a different bronzer. Sometimes I skip a contour and then I just use the bronzer in here. But I love that there's the duo. Love that you get the two products. I had the blush in She's So LA and I just didn't really love it. Like I was like, it's fine. Like it's fine. So when I bought this, I really didn't have like the highest of hopes for it, but I use it constantly. Coming in at number 4, this is basically 1 to 4. I was like, I have no idea what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. Help me. So at number 4, I have this one from Milk Makeup. This is their matte bronzer stick, and I have the shade Baked. I've talked about this product for years. I really enjoy this one. I think it's so easy to use. It's so blendable. I like the shade on me. It's just one that I constantly go back to, and like I would say, like over the last year, like it's one that I constantly have gone back to. It's been one of the first cream bronzers that I kept around in my collection because I was like, wait, I actually like this. I find it actually easy to use. So this one from Milk, I've been a fan of. They also do have a mini, which I think is great if you wanted to like try anything. I love makeup minis, so I definitely recommend that. Coming in at number 3, I have an affordable product. This is from Soul Body, which is the sister brand to Colourpop, and this is their Face and Body Bronzing Balm, and I have the shade Light. Once again, you've heard me talk about this on my channel so often. A lot of people say this is a dupe for the Chanel thing, whatever. Smells great. Love the smell. It makes me feel like I'm on the beach on a vacation or in the desert. Not technically on a vacation, but sometimes it kind of feels that way. But this is such an easy product to use. I can use a sponge with it, or there was like a kabuki brush that came out with these, and since I did get it sent to me from Colourpop, I would use the brush, and the brush is like pretty large, and I would get intimidated like, oh no, I'm gonna pick up too much, or it's just gonna like be too much. Just so easy to use, so easy to blend. It looks so natural. I have the shade Light. I love the color. It's just one of those that I reach for because it's like foolproof for me. And I really appreciate that, especially as I was, you know, expanding my horizons and getting into cream makeup. Like I needed something that was going to be a little bit more foolproof, okay? Okay. All right, so at, what do we have? We're at number 1 and number 2. I had a really hard time with this, and I'm still sitting here and I'm still like thinking what I should do, but one is technically a contour and one is a bronzer. So I decided to put the contour at number 2, even though I still love this product and I know all of y'all know what I'm talking about. So that's how I decided to break it down. But at number 2, I have the one from Charlotte Tilbury, and this is the Hollywood Contour Wand, and I have the shade Fair Medium. I have been using this for such a long time. It is such an easy product to use. Like I mentioned with the Charlotte Tilbury powder bronzer, how it gives you that flawless airbrushed finish. I feel the same way about the contour stick. It's one of those. It's a liquid bronzer. I was gonna say bronzer and product at the same time. It's a liquid bronzer, and I was so intimidated when I first started to use it. But once again, the ease of use is just there. I highly recommend the Charlotte Tilbury wands in general. Blush wands, highlight wands, contour wands. They're expensive, but they're so easy to use, and they look so natural. It's like you, but better. That's kind of what I think about the Charlotte Tilbury brand. So I think that this one is great. I mean, really, it's like neck and neck with 1 and 2, even though they're very different products. And again, one's contour, one's bronzer. But at number 1, it's the same as last year. It's the same as last year. It's the Marc Jacobs. I'm such a fan of this product, and I don't think it's available anymore. And I was like, no. And I was like looking at my top 4, and I was like, is there one that I could put? But I can't yet. I can't knock this one off yet. Some of the bronzers that I've gotten, the Makeup by Mario, the Persona, the Iconic, Patrick Ta even, those are still a little bit newer to me. And sometimes when it comes to ranking videos, I tend to not put new products. I don't want to say like so far at the top, because I feel like some of those other ones are pretty much at the top. But it's hard to like dethrone a product that I've loved for years. Does that make sense? But the Marc Jacobs Omega Tantastic Bronzer, I don't understand how I haven't hit pan in this. This product especially makes me feel like, will I ever hit pan in a bronzer? I don't know, because it's beautiful. But I'm also, it was pretty expensive. And like I said, I don't think it's available anymore. So I like, a lot of times with bronzer, you know, I kind of just like hit the middle and go from there. This I like sweep around the outsides, and I'm just like, I'm trying to make it last, and then I'm like, why haven't I hit pan? And then I'm like, because I don't actually want to. Like, you know, it's like one of those like weird dualities that I have going on with the Marc Jacobs, but I love the mirror in here. I mean, I have talked about this bronzer for so long on my channel. It has just been a favorite of mine. It's so easy to blend. It's so flawless, it's so natural. Once again, it has that like airbrush finish to it. I love the Tantastic shade on me. I love the packaging. It's one of those bronzers, once again, that it's like, if I just want something foolproof and that's just gonna make me look like a beautiful bronze goddess, but without like going overboard, I'm going to reach for the Marc Jacobs. So if you love a liquid product and you know, you don't mind it being a contour, I would definitely recommend the Charlotte Tilbury. I hope she comes out with like an actual bronzer wand, because I don't think that's a thing, right? It's just the contour, the blush, and the highlight. That would be freaking bomb. Or even, I just really, like my top five. Hard to choose, but that's it. That's where I'm leaving this video. That was ranking all of my bronzers from my least favorite to my top favorite, 22 in total. I will link everything down below that is still available if there's anything that you are interested in, but I'm really curious to get your thoughts. Was there any surprises in here? I was surprised. I was surprised the entire time that I was putting this video together. I was surprised when I was watching the video from last year. I just like I really did not expect this, okay? But I really want to hear your thoughts. Let me know what you would like to see next for my ranking series. I know I've had some requests for my Natasha Denona palettes, but yeah, if there's anything else that you would like to see, please do let me know. And as always, if you enjoyed this one, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. I hope you also consider subscribing before you go, and I'll see you in my next video.